Yeah, I'm right back at you like I never left, and I'm gonna go this hard to my last breath. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Kanoom, Consul Moon. You already know what you're gonna get when you step in this room. You're now dealing with Kanoom. Yeah, I'm here. And while I'm here, I'm gonna make the information direct and clear, because a lot of y'all can't hear. Yeah, now. Welcome back to Make My Ancestors Great Again. This is another episode of my thoughts, okay? This is just a couple of Bible verses. Well, I'll just do one because I'm in the car today, doing a lot of raining and storming in the geographical location that I am. So I didn't want the internet to be cutting up with my computer, so I said, let me go outside and just do a video outside today. Now, I won't be able to screen share and show you the verse, but I'll give you the verse and you can follow along. It's Genesis 17. I'm not going to quote it verbatim, but I'm going to give you what it's talking about. In Genesis 17, it says, in the 99th year of Abraham's life, this Lord and Savior, at the time this was Yahweh, the Messiah, all this type of stuff, are simply the Lord of Abraham. He said, come before me, walk before me. He's 99 now. He told him to walk before me and be perfect. Now, this is God telling Abraham, walk before me and be perfect. He didn't commit all kind of sins in his life. But he said, walk before me and be perfect. I want to make my covenant with you. And he said, when I make my covenant with you, I would let you have, your numbers will be exceeding. Like he would give him all these type of ancestors and all these type of descendants, okay? Now, my problem with that is, that's a lie. In theology and in biblical patristic handwriting put forth by the so-called church fathers, that can happen. But history is best qualified to reward all research. History, if you go back historically and see, if it was just a man in his 99th year of his life, that's the downhill of his life in history. You see, he's getting ready to die, so now he's hearing voices. So this so-called God told him, he put his covenant with him. You see, he told him, hey man, you perfect, things of that nature. When you walk before me, you perfect. I want to put my covenant with you. If you take that in a historical manner, and a 99-year-old man said, hey man, I just talked to God. He told me to come before him, and he made a covenant with me. In today's time or in any other time, a person will look at you and say, man, he's either have multiple personalities, or he's borderline schizophrenic. He could have dementia, or he can have Alzheimer's. See, nobody would never believe him at his word. Nobody. Now with this gentleman, because you put it in a Dr. Seuss type of book, and I'm not being disrespectful, but that's what it is. It's wives' tales, it's oral tradition, it's folklore, allegory, mythology, and fiction. That's what the Bible is based on. Nothing, not one part of it is based on realism. These are stories, and a lot of people have a problem and say, hey, these are meta. A lot of times they're metaphoric, they're symbolic. You know what I mean? They using analogies. They using, what did the Lord say he liked to talk in? Parables and all this type of stuff. Listen to me. That's for the new philosopher to sit back and go back and forth with each other. Those for scholars. Those are scholarly words. When they wrote this at the time period they so-called wrote it at, the people was illiterate. Yes, they was illiterate. Once upon a time, when the Torah was handwritten, the Torah or the Tanakh or the Talmud, whatever, however you want to cut it, it was taught to the parishioner or the congregant, the believer in Judaism. It was taught by memory. Only the rabbi would read the Torah or the Tanakh, whatever one you want to say. He would read it to his believer, and they would have to believe it by memory. See, they wouldn't even, he dare not touch it with his own hand, the rabbi. This is how the story goes now. The rabbi would have a stick and read it with a stick on them scrolls. And you, the believer, would have to remember it by memory. They didn't issue those out. Nobody took those home. So when you start talking about, oh, these is metaphors, similes, parables. Listen, the average person could not discern between, if a guy said, hey man, I was flying, I soared like a bird. If you told a person that at those time periods with the literacy rate that it was, he's going to believe that you literally soared like a bird. Now, if you told him, no, I'm speaking in a metaphoric way, I said my spirit, when I heard that word, my spirit soared and I flew like a bird. See, you would have to give some distinct breakdowns and some key words to let the person know what you was ideally speaking about. This is how the story goes now. So if I find a Bible verse, which I do all the time, and they say things like, hey, nobody never seen God. Then I show you a verse that say, hey, I seen God face to face. You say, what context? What context? I don't understand if something's wrong with you or you don't understand the literalism in the Bible. The Bible is meant to be literal as well. Okay? So you can metaphor and play with all these words you want. They didn't have the Bible concordance. They didn't have a Strong's. They didn't have an Ehrman's Bible dictionary. They didn't have Google. What do this mean? They didn't have it all that at the time. So if I told you no man has ever seen God face to face, that's what I meant. Then if you turn around in the same Bible say, and I seen God face to face and my life was preserved. Something is wrong there. It's a discrepancy. Whether it be a contradiction, whether it be a lie, you can say a misprint, any of this stuff, a mistranslation, but it's a discrepancy there. So to just ignore it because you're trying to protect it with your belief, that's totally wrong, okay? So I wanted to just speak about Abraham. He heard voices throughout his whole life, and people took that as if he was a prophet. These are stories taught to the Jewish people, so-called at that time period, to instore some power and a belief that somebody was navigating them through certain situations and bringing them out on the winning end. Abraham had dementia. Abraham had Alzheimer's. Abraham had multiple personality disorder. See, he was schizophrenia. When people talk to you and you have all these people inside your mind, they have, they documented those diagnoses now. Before, people didn't even know what PTSD mean. They used to just say, oh, that's my uncle from the army. That's Ronnie, he's shell-shocked. That's my Uncle Ronnie, shell-shocked. They didn't have PTSD yet. See, now when he come home from the army, seen all that killing, they say post-traumatic stress disorder. So Abraham, he just heard voices, and he was a strange man who heard things, and people followed him, believing that his intuition was real. All he had was a voice. That's it. I'm sorry to tell anybody that. You can believe the stories if you want to, but Abraham wasn't that deep. He was a man who heard voices and people believed what he heard. But if you do that today, they're going to say you crazy as hell. Hey, Abraham, yeah. He don't know. He wasn't literate. Show me where it say Abraham read a book at. Show me where it say Abraham was knowledgeable and he learned all these trades and he learned all education. See? You won't find it. You won't even find it Abraham. Because again, I said history is best qualified to reward all research. If you can't find it in history, you might be dealing with just literary history. That's what the Bible is. It's a book of literature put forth to people to be believed that it's history. Abraham was a man who had a problem. He spoke to himself. Abraham, yeah, yes, God. Yes, Lord. Kill your son. Yes, I will do. Get his son, pack him up, and get ready to go kill him. If any man hear that voice today and he believe it's God, he's a damn fool. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Kanum, Consul Moon. You already know what you're going to get when you step in the room. You're now dealing with Kanum. This is what I do, and I love to do it. And before I take back what I said, I'll add some more to it. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and I thank you for watching. And remember, preparation and education Education and preparation is the first step to retaliation. So before you pick up a weapon, pick up some knowledge. Yay, yay.